Guys, how's everyone tonight?
Good.
My name's Jesse. I'm single. Is anyone single here? Cool, we got a lot of sad people here tonight. No, I honestly don't mind being single. Like, it's actually fine. The only thing, though, is I always hear these terrible single stories from other people. Like, my friend was telling me the other day, she was going on an Uber to see a movie, right? And her driver just stops in this random place, turns off the car, and then asks her for her phone number. Right? Really creepy, right? So I asked her, of course, if she reported this guy. And she said no, but she gave him 3 stars.
What?
Right? Like, I give my driver 3 stars if he talks to me when I'm trying to listen to NPR. So, which like begs the question, like, what would this driver have to do so for her to give him like a lower rating? Like, if they were going out of their house, going on the driveway, and the driver like ran over her dog, would she be like, I'm really more of a cat person anyway? Give him like 2 stars or something? No, because I'm single, I have a lot of the dating apps, right? I have Hinge, I have Bumble. I'm Jewish, so I tried J-Swipe for like 30 seconds. And something that always happens to me is sometimes I'll see the same girl on multiple dating apps, right? And I always have the same reaction. I'm like, what a loser, she's on multiple dating apps. But then sometimes I'll match with this girl on one app and then not on another. Which like gives me an idea of what the playing field is like. Like, I guess I'm like a 7 on Hinge, but a 5 on Bumble. So, it was Columbus Day the other day. No applause for Columbus Day. That's fine. But something I recently realized is I think I'm the last generation to grow up thinking that Christopher Columbus is a good guy. Right? Like, when we're younger, we were taught in elementary school that Columbus was this brave explorer who discovered America. But then later on, we learned that he actually like killed a bunch of natives. Like, being a fan of Columbus in like 2001 is kind of like being a Kevin Spacey fan now. Except also if we found like the whole cast of House of Cards in his backyard buried. The weird thing though, on my calendar it said Columbus Day, and then on the same day it also said Indigenous People Day. Which is kind of weird, right? Because we're celebrating Indigenous people, and then we're celebrating the guy who killed them. It's like if we had Black History Month, and in the same month it was Remember the Confederacy Month. Or if we had like Lincoln's birthday, and the same day was John Wilkes Booth Day. I think the only good thing about John Wilkes Booth Day was it'd probably be pretty easy to get tickets to see a play. Like, maybe I could finally see Hamilton. I would love to see Hamilton, but it's so expensive and I'm so cheap. Like, I value my time so little that I'll always use Uber Express Pool when I go out. And if you don't know what Uber Express Pool is, it essentially picks you up somewhere you aren't and then brings you somewhere you don't want to be. And then you end up like sitting in an Uber for an extra hour just to like save $3. Like, my driver will be like, hey, I know you're going to the Mission, but first we gotta go to Sausalito and go to the wooden boating tour. And I'll be like, you had me at $3. Now, speaking of going places I don't want to be, I went on a family vacation recently. No, it was actually great. We went to Milan, right? Milan's supposed to be the fashion capital of the world. And yet we found ourselves in like an Urban Outfitters or an H&M the whole time. Which is kind of like going to China and just eating Panda Express. They actually don't have Panda Expresses in China. That's what they call their carpool lane. No, this trip was great. The only thing is my family spent the whole time trying to make us go to the gym and work out, which is kind of weird, right? But then you like look at my family and it kind of makes sense because my dad is a pretty big and muscular guy. Like, he used to be in a frat. He He tells me he was the smart frat, so I guess they only drove drunk on Tuesdays. And then my sister and my mom are also pretty fit. But then you like look at me and you start to have some questions. Because if someone is telling you that their family is this crazy about going to the gym, you expect that person to look like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, whereas I look like Chris Pratt, but if you locked him in a closet for 3 months with nothing but Pedialyte and plantain chips,
No.
like I'm so thin and white, the last time I hung out with some investment bankers, they tried to snort me. Thank you guys, that's my time.